court for football, the basketball, and every other sport. With Troy and DL and Dr. Carl Brinkley and Paul and the coach Robert Brickey. It's time, get your coffee and get ready for the flow. Get ready for the coach Brickey Sports Show. And get ready for the flow. And get ready for the flow. And get ready for the flow. Brickey Sports Show.
Yeah, I'm bouncing to the music this morning. Brickey Sports Show. Caleb told me I was on it. I was on it. I got the cadoos, coach, from a young man. He told me I got the bounce.
Yeah.
Good morning to you. We have Coach Brickey, we have DL, and we have also Reverend Dr. Carlton Brown, and producing this morning in his Dallas Cowboy shirt. Yay! We have Reverend Brinkley. So, whatever. Coach, I followed your lead with things this morning, but you sent us an extensive breakdown of all this stuff here. But look now, I'm gonna give you a little pushback now. Is this your writing or did you get this from somewhere else?
You know what, Troy? I created a prompt on ChatGPT, on Gemini, that pulls specific headlines. I kind of gave it some direction. You know, focus on North Carolina, ACC, regional sports, etc. So it's just a prompt.
Okay. Well, look, I just give him a little pushback. When you get to the Raiders, a surprisingly disciplined draft. I mean, you didn't say that about nobody else. Surprisingly disciplined.
You know,
what do you mean by that?
Listen, those are not my words. But being that you've been down, your team has been down for a number of years now.
Is that the only team been down?
I mean, no, not the only team. Not the only team. I'm not picking on the Raiders. I'm just saying you had a good draft and you filled your need. You needed a quarterback and you got the number one pick. Right. And I think the only quarterback maybe to go in the first round.
Right. Well, I mean,
Ty Simpson also went number 13 to Arizona Cardinals.
Right, that's right.
See, I told you he knows.
He knows. You're right.
See,
So tell me, Troy, do you feel better about the Raiders today?
Look, my feelings about the Raiders doesn't change, even if they hadn't drafted anyone. I'm like, look, I'm gonna stop being like the Cowboys, man. You know, they don't have to see anything positive. They just we gonna win the Super Bowl. They say it every year. So I'm saying the same thing. We gonna win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, die hard, huh?
I'm gonna start acting like these Dallas Cowboy fans.
You're right. That's how they do, man.
Every year, we gonna win the Super Bowl. I said, okay, all right.
Well, look, maybe we need to give Pastor Brinkley an opportunity to express himself, being that I think the Cowboys did a nice job in the draft. So, Reverend Brickey, did you follow it enough to know what happened?
Yes, sir. I thought it was a really good draft. Major picks for the defense. That's where we really needed the help, and I think the report gave it a B. I thought it was really like an A minus. I thought it was A minus, A regular A minus, in that range. But it was a good draft. I think we drafted better this year than we've had in the last couple of years for sure.
Right. Okay, so this is the question: Is this your year? Y'all gonna win it this year?
Yes, sir. Of course.
Every year is their year.
Every year we're gonna do it. I see it with that defense, and our offense is already kicking.
I have my feet up, brother. It's getting deep in here. That's for sure.
For sure. That's right. Yeah, man. They get nervous about us already.
Oh yeah, right.
Especially in the NFC, they get nervous about us. So we're coming. We're coming.
Yeah, man.
Well, I didn't see anything on here about the Steelers, man.
Well, that's what I was going to say. If Paul was in the building, I'm sure he would have been able to give us an update on what happened with the Steelers draft.
Well, you got a guy right there with you. I mean, DL. I mean, he be driving all over the country to see them. When they played overseas, didn't you drive across the Atlantic, brother, to see them?
No, a friend of mine, he wanted to go to Ireland, but I told him I can't keep spending between 3 and for Steelers. When I go to Europe in 2 years, I'm gonna be in England driving to Germany. Not for a football game.
Okay. See, I told you he's a real fan.
Did you pay attention to the draft? First of all, y'all had a good number of picks. So
yeah,
if the draft had any depth to it, you really had a chance to improve. So tell us what happened with the Steelers.
So they did have they held the draft in Pittsburgh, and Roger Goodell said for the first day that was the largest crowd they had in history. So that was a good shout out for the Pittsburgh Steel City. But I like the picks. They went offensive line, wide receiver. I don't know why they picked a quarterback in the 3rd round when they have Will Howard from Ohio State enter his 2nd year, and they still got Aaron Rodgers, who I don't want to see play again. But then they went tight end, receiver, and running back. So they only drafted 2 defensive players. So the Steelers had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 picks because of trades. So every team, Troy, every team is excited about the draft. The prior season is gone. Every team should be optimistic. If you're a fan, fans are optimistic. And that's why a lot of those fans travel throughout the United States to go root for their teams in the draft. But I like the Steelers got new coaching, so we'll see when training camp rolls around.
It's interesting. They had 10 picks. 7 of their 10 picks were on the offensive side of the ball. So evidently they felt like they had some holes to fill on that side of the ball.
Well, Robert, you have a new coach and an entire new staff. They look at things different. And so everybody, like I said, everybody optimistic in the spring. And that's it.
Yeah, well, you talking about Aaron Rodgers, your comments about that old man getting up. I remember you talking about he getting up like an old man. Yeah, you see? Your words come back to bite you, little brother.
Yeah, I don't understand it to bring him back at 42.
I know.
That's true.
Yeah, at this stage, they got a new coach after having Tomlin for a long time. So, yeah, they got to rebuild, and I don't think Rodgers is what you want to start your rebuild with.
Amen.
He is a temporary placeholder, but you got to find you somebody that can help start building franchises, fortune better on the offensive side of the ball. So you're going to have to invest in some young talent.
But remember that their new coach is his old coach. I mean, right? He used to be coach at Green Bay. He played with him at Green Bay. So, maybe that's the pull right now. But I don't see the logic in bringing him back either, except for the fact that he played for the coach before, and the coach, they might know each other. And so that would be on the reason to bring him back this year.
I'd love for him to take on the role as a mentor advisor. I don't think his ego would allow him to do that.
Right.
So he had to play behind what was the quarterback at Green Bay he had to play behind?
Brett Favre.
Yeah. So, imagine a young guy being able to be mentored by one of the greats of all time. I mean, I think it would be a great story. I don't think he'd do it, though.
Yeah, got a point there. Well, I mean, but let me ask you something, Coach, on a serious note. Doesn't it take a little bit of bravado, ego, kind of to be great when you stop playing sports?
Absolutely.
I mean, so what now?
Absolutely. Listen, if you don't think you're great, you won't be great.
That's my point. That's what I'm saying, right?
Yeah, so I get it. I trust me. You got to think you better than everybody.
Hello.
And trust. I understand that level, but at some point, you got a diminishing skills clause in the contract where at 41 you just can't do the things you could do at 27.
That's true, no
it's
doubt.
just Father Time, and Father Time is undefeated.
Yeah. Well, he's so old that he might not get hit. Somebody run by him too fast, he might get hurt.
Yeah, but Robert, the draft. The only two teams that I really looked after, of course, my Steelers, and then the Panthers. Because the Panthers went totally defense except for 2 slots, which they looked at how Seattle won the Super Bowl last year. They had offense up into the Super Bowl, but it was mostly Seattle's defense. And the Panthers' first pick was a tackle to protect their quarterback's blind side, which is a good pick.
Yeah,
Well,
so they picked up a tackle and a center, so they knew they needed to address protecting Bryce Young. Although we made the playoffs last year by the slimmest of margins, but if we could protect it, when he had protection, he was solid, and we got to make sure he's just not under duress because he got sacked too many times in his first year, and last year was a little better. But if we can protect him, I think he can be a better quarterback.
Well, now Reb is a Ravens fan. Reb, what happened with the Ravens that so they can beat up on the Steelers?
Well, I mean, we didn't need anything to beat up on the Steelers. We beat up on them anyway.
Oh, wow.
But I think, again, they helped Lamar. I mean, listen, Baltimore is the one who keeps beating themselves. The last 2 years, they were the best team, but they keep beating themselves. But they did a good job. They got a couple of wide receivers. They got an edge rusher, offensive guard, the first draft, and they got a couple of tight ends, a running back. And so I think they're loading up the right way. And if Lamar just stayed true to being Lamar and use that big horse they have behind them running back, I mean, I don't think they can lose. But again, Lamar starts to get cute. Whenever they go into playoffs, he starts to get cute and just lose the game plan. But they did well in the draft, and I think they equipped themselves well to be better this year than last year. Of course, Lamar was hurt last year, so actually that was their first losing season with Lamar as a starter. So they can only go up this year, and they had some pretty good picks that will help them play better this year, I think.
So you heard it right here at Studio C, 2520. The Baltimore Ravens, they whooped the Steelers.
Yeah.
How you feel about that, DL?
Listen, I respect Baltimore organization. They've always done it the right way. They good defense, offense. We'll see when the season starts.
This will be of interest to Troy and DL. Did you see what Cleveland did in the draft?
Ooh,
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Man, you know what? First of all, they look like a respectable franchise based on their draft.
Yep.
And because they made a bunch of blunders in the last, not just with the draft, just in general. But they seem like they got this right. And
Yes.
they drafted an offensive tackle, 2 wide receivers back to back,
Right.
and 2 tight ends later on. So
Right.
they are looking to beef up their offensive line as well as their skills positions on offense to maybe give Shador a better opportunity. Am I looking at this the right way?
Hold up. Stop the horses. They drafted a 6'5", quarterback from Arkansas, Taylon Green. So they have 3 quarterbacks with 2 years
or less, right? Experience.
So, and then Deshaun Watson is the incumbent starter right now. So I can't see him carrying 4 quarterbacks. It doesn't make any sense. Somebody's going to be traded or cut out of those 3.
Dylan.
So now, okay. So listen, we expected great things out of Deshaun Watson after all the stuff he went through, and he came back. He didn't have very good.
He just hasn't bounced back, man.
But do you still think he has it? I mean, when's the last time he played as a full-time starter?
Probably
3 years ago.
2024, you know, because he got injured in 2024. He didn't play at all last year, and this is the last year of that contract. He is playing for a new contract with another team. And Shedeur and Dylan are playing to be his backup. So it's going to be an intense battle for the number 2 because Deshaun Watson could go down at any time. So it's the year for Cleveland. They got a new head coach. So we'll see.
Shedeur Sanders is the real deal. I mean, he showed that to you last season with all of the controversy and all of the things that should have been distractions. The young man came through. He comes from good stock.
Yep.
Yeah. He'll get it. You know, he's got a new coach. But the teams he beat last year, I know he beat Oakland and Pittsburgh, and it was because of terrible coaching on the part of the Raiders and the Steelers and what other team he may have won against.
It don't matter, brother. It was a W. I mean, you know, it's not his fault that the coaching played into his scheme. I mean, that happens in every game, right?
Well, listen, as a Steelers fan, we're not worried about Cleveland. We're only worried about one team in that. It's 2 teams in that division right now. That will be Baltimore, who the perennial should always be in first place because they have the better players. And the Steelers should be fighting for the second or third slot. Cleveland will always be a distant 4th.
Well, we'll see. You know, now, I mean, I'm going to mark that down in my mental Rolodex that you said that. So let's see what happens. Because if they beat y'all, I want you to fess up. Fess up.
Well, again, and last year, Shedeur really didn't get a fair chance, right? He didn't get any whole lot of practice behind the first string. Right. And so, I mean, it wasn't until the second half of the season that he really got a good chance, and then he didn't have any offensive line.
Correct.
His receiver kept dropping the ball. So I think having a full year, a full off season, and being able to work with all the guys, the first team, I think you'll see a better Shedeur this year. So y'all better watch out. Watch out for Cleveland. I don't think they'll still probably be number 4 in that division, but I think they'll do better this year than they did last year.
Well, Coach, we're approaching the half hour here. Take a break, and we're back. So, Coach, coming back, what do you want to deal with when we come back?
Let's talk a little NBA playoff.
Okay, all right, Kate. Inside of Coach Brickey Sports Show. We'll be right back.
Wake up, it's the Coach Brickey Sports Show with the team that can give you what you know, what you need and what you want on the court. For football, the basketball, and every other sport. With Troy and DL and Dr. Carl Brinkley and Paul and the Coach Robert Brickey. It's time, get your coffee and get ready for the flow. Get ready for the Coach Brickey Sports Show.
Authorities are digging into the background of the suspect in the shooting at the White House Correspondents' Dinner over the weekend. Suspect is expected in court today in D.C. One person was shot and killed by police in Rocky Mount. The shooting happened on Sunday around 1 p.m. in the 3300 block of Sunset Avenue. The officer involved was also injured. A legislative bill with a wide range of local matters is now drawing criticism. One of the more controversial parts of the bill would allow Franklin County to take property without consent or approval from Vance, Warren, and Halifax counties. Leader of a Western North Carolina advocacy group is speaking out after the North Carolina State Auditor released a report on spending from the governor's highway safety program. Powerful storms tore through North Texas overnight, leaving at least 2 people dead. The hardest hit area was Runaway Bay, Texas. Mike Rayleigh, NCN News.
I'm Jamie Monticelli, WIDU Radio News. At about 11:50 p.m. on April 24th, Fayetteville Police Department officers went out to a single vehicle crash at Rayford Road and the I-295 South entrance ramp that resulted in a fatality. A 2013 Dodge Charger, operated by 36-year-old Tyranisha Shanae Sherlock Benton of Fayetteville, was traveling at a high rate of speed on Rayford Road and failed to negotiate the right turn onto the 295 South entrance ramp. Sherlock Benton was pronounced deceased at the scene. Detectives with the Fayetteville Police Department's Crimes Against Person or Capers unit are requesting the public's help in a personal robbery investigation that occurred along the 2700 block of Rayford Road on April 25th. The preliminary investigation revealed that a male victim allegedly made a purchase at a business along the 2700 block of Rayford Road and began returning to his vehicle. While approaching his vehicle, 2 male suspects ran up to the victim and took his firearm. They pointed the victim's firearm at him and fled on foot. From WIDU Radio.
Starting out our Monday morning with cloud cover, but it is a little on the cool side with temperatures starting in the upper 40s and lower 50s. Heading from morning to afternoon, clouds giving way to sunshine. It's pleasant with high temperatures in the low to mid 70s. Overnight, a clear sky. Temperatures once again upper 40s near 50 degrees, and clouds increasing Tuesday with an isolated afternoon shower, highs mid 70s. However, a better rain chance arriving by Wednesday. I'm meteorologist Chris Michaels in the NCN Weather Center.
It's Friday Night Live in Fayetteville, North Carolina, where worship and praise and ministry will come together for an anointed time of the Lord. Friday, May 1st at 7:30 p.m. at the Gateway Center, 3860 Gateway Drive in Fayetteville, North Carolina, with special musical guests Reverend Luther Barnes and the Restoration Worship Center Choir and spoken word from Ambassador David Gilliam of Impact Nation, Petersburg, Virginia, and Houston, Texas. Come expecting to be uplifted and blessed as these men of God sing and preach about God's goodness and His healing power. That's Friday Night Live, May 1st, with Reverend Luther Barnes and the Restoration Worship Center Choir and spoken word from Ambassador David Gilliam of Impact Nation Church, Petersburg, Virginia, and Houston, Texas. Set for worship and praise at the Gateway Center, 3860 Gateway Drive in Fayetteville, North Carolina. A free will offering will be taken. That's Friday Night Live, Fayetteville, free and open to the public. For more information, call 877-959-7418 or go to David Gilliam Ministries worldwide.org.
It's Jeff Thompson, the Bloomin' Idiot from Bell's Seed Store. 230 East Russell Street, directly across the street from the courthouse in wonderful downtown Fayetteville. Mother Hare preached it here for years, and I'm here to follow right up on her. The Max Force Roach Gel is the thing you need if you want to get rid of roaches and water bugs in your house, in your place of business, anywhere you've got them. She told you she was never going to lie to you, and I'm not either, because we're both going to end up in heaven. So I want you to invite you down for the Max Force Roach Gel, the absolute best product that you will find to get rid of roaches and water bugs in your place. Now, we've also got any kind of other insecticide for your gardens, for your home, for your lawn. Anything you need to control all the pests that are driving you crazy, I've got them on hand, and I've got the knowledgeable staff that can show you exactly what you need for your situation. So it's Bell's Seed Store, 230 East Russell Street, directly across the street from the courthouse in wonderful downtown Fayetteville.
Angelic Flourish Creations, 442 Hillsborough Street, Fayetteville, is family-owned and operated, proudly serving the Fayetteville area. Whatever the occasion, Angelic Flourish Creations can create a floral arrangement or gift for any occasion or holiday. Angelic Flourish Creations has prompt, friendly, and caring service. If you want to say you care, you can always say it with flowers from Angelic Flourish Creations, 442 Hillsborough Street, Fayetteville. Call 910-485-2205.
Hi, this is DJ Paul G.
And this is DJ 06. And we are the Gospel Blend Brothers. Join us every Friday
from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. for
the Drive Time Gospel Mix.
as we get you to and from your destination.
Vibing on good gospel music.
In the mix.
On WIDU 99.7 FM and 1600 AM. The Drive Time Gospel Mix.
Measles is spreading in North Carolina. It's highly contagious and can make infants and children very sick. Pneumonia, brain swelling, long-term health problems, hospitalization, and death can occur. Protect your child with the MMR vaccine. It provides lifelong protection. Serious side effects are extremely rare. Millions of children are safely vaccinated each year. Insurance covers the cost and free vaccines are available. Make sure your child is up to date. Talk to your doctor or visit ncdhhs.gov/measles. Paid for by NCDHHS.
It's celebration time again for all freshmen in high school through freshmen in college. Come join us at Faith Tabernacle Christian Center for Prom Night 26. Our guest for the evening will be Christian rap artist Mike Teasy. This event will take place Friday, May 1st at 7 p.m. and is designed exclusively for high school freshmen through college freshmen. Commemorative photos will be taken and can be purchased the day of the event, so dress your best and come ready to have some fun. Admission is free, but you must register to attend. Register on our website at ftccenter.org, or you can call the church 910-865-5252. Church groups and schools are welcome, but you must register as well. Doors open at 6 p.m., so come early and participate in our red carpet photo op. Let's celebrate your accomplishments for this year by joining us for Prom Night 26. For more detail, call 910-865-5252 or online at ftccenter.org. Space is limited.
At Fayetteville State University, you will do something you thought you could never do. And never say never again. With NC Promise $500 per semester tuition, dare to see where you can go. Check out all your options, including our new cybersecurity program. Because tomorrow just can't wait. Fayetteville State University. Anything really can happen. Are you in?
We're back, Coach Brickey Sports Show, and back to Coach.
Well, Troy, we need this time of year we are starting to run out of sports. So we are heavy in the midst of the NBA playoffs.
Yes, sir.
This is the first round is fantastic because we got games on every night.
Yeah.
And so this is the wind up. Because it's after round one, you start getting to every other day, and then possibly every third day. So basketball season is running out, but it's been some fantastic matchups so far. And you know, as I studied, I've seen everybody play, and I studied the brackets, and I think the Celtics are going to come out of the East and OKC out of the West. So I really don't see anybody standing in the way of the Celtics in the East, and maybe the Spurs standing in the way of the OKC in the West, but I think it's a Celtics Thunder showdown in the finals.
Okay.
Anybody got anything different?
No, I agree with you wholeheartedly. I'd like to see what Detroit is going to do. They should give the Celtics a run, but I'm more concerned about some of these first-round games and the fallout. LeBron, are you coming back at 42 next year? And the Rockets, are you KD, who's a team hopper because he can't get the lineup he wants to get him another title? Will he come back to the Rockets? And in the Nuggets, I think two coaches need to be replaced. If I was the Nuggets, that coach will be gone. Jokic, they won a championship 2 years ago, and they have failed to surround him with any good players. It's just him and Jamal Murray, and they just can't seem to get any help. And you fired Mike Malone. He's at Carolina now, and you've done nothing. You've had one of the best players, perennial MVP, and you've done nothing. And another coach is Mike, what's the guy in New York?
Brown.
They fired Tom Thibodeau because he's too hard on defense. You know, Magic, yeah. You know, when he coached the Lakers, and I was disappointed in Magic just publicly on TV. He needs to go. He ain't the right coach or whatnot. The Knicks have regressed. I think they move on. If you fire Tom Thibodeau, you get rid of Mike Brown after 1 year. I just, that's my opinion.
So let me ask you about Denver. You said they haven't surrounded Jokic with the right personnel, and I agree. But is that the coach?
Yeah, that's not a coach. Yeah, that's not a coach situation, right?
Yeah, well, I'm still firing him anyway. He's just not. I'm looking at his team. They're not ready. They're just not ready. You got to realize this is not too far-fetched in the NBA. Coach Brickey, tell me, they're gone now. I'm offering an opinion, but coaches are usually gone. They can have one bad year and they're gone. I just don't think his lineups have been successful. And Denver, without one of their best player, Anthony, I can't think of his name.
In Minnesota,
their best player,
Anthony Edwards, Ant-Man.
Anthony Edwards. Yeah. And his team looks flat. They couldn't do anything. They don't have a defense. And Cam Jordan and what's his name, Tim Hardaway Jr. Tim Hardaway Jr. is in the running for 6 Man of the Year. I didn't get his lineups because Cam couldn't hit nothing. He couldn't hit anything. And I think when he brought in Hardaway Jr., he wasn't on, but his lineups are a lot to be desired. I just can't believe Denver's going out like this. Well, when I watched that, I think this is why I picked OKC and the Celtics, because both teams are deep. They can play 8, 9, 10 players. Like Denver, if Jokic and Murray don't play really, really well, they got no chance. So I think they're a player short. And I think that's the case for most teams.
Don't go to sleep on the Spurs now. Don't go to sleep on the Spurs. The Spurs.
Now, I know the Spurs. They beat
OKC several times, 3 times this year already.
Yep. Right. I get it. But I'm going to take OKC with the experience. I think San Antonio's a year experience away from being a good team. Like, I think they molded into a good team. Well, good teams got to have that experience. Like when the Bulls couldn't beat, when Jordan and the Bulls couldn't beat Isaiah and the Pistons.
Right.
They had to get over that hump, and I don't think the Spurs have gotten over that hump yet.
You keep bringing it up, man. That was Jordan rules. Remember that? They were killing the man. Gee whiz.
I'm going to wait and see on that. I think Thunder's got to make it through the Wemby. And I heard Dio talk about the Piston. The Piston better get through this first round because they're the first number 1 seed that's been down to a number 8 seed in the first round in a long, long time. And right now they're down to the Magic, and Magic is number 8 seed, and they're the number 1 seed, and they're not looking that good right now. So they better get out of the first round before they think about winning the East.
I think the Pistons are playing short too. Like if Duran and Cunningham don't play really, really well, they got no chance.
Yeah, you're right. You're right about that.
So now that I look, so I think the West, because Oklahoma City is going to win this. They're up 3-0 on the Suns right now. They'll win that. So
easy.
So their first round series will be over early.
Easy.
They get to rest.
Easy, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hey guys,
the next opponent for them will be the Lakers Rockets.
Coach.
Again, that's not a tough matchup for them. Yes.
Coach, we have this Dallas Cowboy fan in here. I'm not calling the names. Talking about Lakers in 5.
They are going to be in 5.
But listen. That's not the point. They got to play OKC.
I know, right? So, yeah, and that's it. That's it.
I don't care if the Lakers or the Rockets.
Right.
I think it's over.
Yeah, they're not getting through OKC. You're right about that.
No. Right.
OKC will head to the Western Conference Final 8-0. They will sweep both teams, Lakers or the Rockets. They'll wait for the Trailblazers. I don't think the Nuggets got enough in the gas. I think it's the Timberwolves and the Trailblazers.
The Trailblazers.
I mean, Spurs. I meant to say Spurs. And whoever wins that is going to have a well-rested OKC.
So, honest opinion, do you believe that the Lakers could beat Michigan? Talking about the college team.
First of all, I don't know how the Lakers got up, and I know no disrespect to the Lakers, they got up 3-1 on the Rockets, and
without their number one players.
Right. Yeah. So you down Doncic and the other, they down 2 starters.
And Reeds.
Yeah, and that's got to be 40 plus points.
Yep.
Yeah. So so the Rockets, I gave Ime Udoka a lot of credit because I thought he did a nice job with the Rockets. I watched the Rockets play a bunch of times this year, but they had looked horrible in this playoff series.
No point guard.
Yeah.
Yeah, and oh man, when I watched them play many times in the regular season, they look like 2 different teams. I don't know what happened.
Yeah. I watched them when they came to see the Hornets play. And speaking of the Hornets and NBA, the 2 beat writers, 2 seasoned veteran observer writers, they say LaMelo Ball needs to either grow up or trade him. The good thing about that, they offer their opinion. I agree with them. LaMelo Ball made the Hornets a whole lot better. He's a good shooter, good facilitator. It's just sometimes his antics on the court and his off-the-court decisions. You start seeing a little bit of Ja Morant out of Memphis. So, and now the Memphis Grizzlies, nobody wants Ja Morant unless the price is right. He's still a good player. And I just hope LaMelo Ball has a lot to think about this offseason. And the Hornets brass, if somebody gives him a good deal, take it. If not, you got to keep him. You don't give him away. Because he did nothing that caused him to be suspended from games. And I hope it stays that way. But I just question some of his decisions.
The difference between winning a title, in my opinion, and not, sometimes has to do with maturity. And I watched the Hornets play a ton, and he is a fantastic player. I mean,
he is.
I mean, he understands the game at a high level. He's skilled. He has fun. I think he is a tremendous asset, and that's the time when you trade him. Because he's got value. He's an LA guy. He's an LA guy who probably wants to go back home. And I'm sure the Clippers are looking to rebuild their roster. Maybe even the Lakers. You trade while you have leverage, and now is the time to strike.
Yeah,
that's
that is. You're right. And I've looked at sports. And when the time wasn't right, when the Steelers lost Antonio Brown, when he was acting a fool, they had to the Raiders fleeced the Steelers. And then right now, Memphis is trying to fleece somebody, but they don't want Ja Morant. And Ja Morant, to me, is a top 20 player in the NBA right now.
Mm-hmm. Listen, you think about the amount of time an NBA player has in a day. Let's say you practice at noon. You get there at 10. You do whatever you do. You practice 12 to 2, get some shots up. So maybe you spend 5 hours at the facility. That's a lot of time left in the day. And you got a lot of resources. Everybody knows who you are. So you got to be careful who you bring into your organization because that's a lot of time and a lot of money and a lot of resources that could lead down the wrong road. And I hate it for him because I agree with you, DL. Top player. Box office. Like, people want to go see him play.
Coach, I saw this thing, Coach, where the guy was talking about Kobe Bryant and people like Jordan. Now, it was good that you brought the timeline in. That was not something that I would know about. But they would say that, look, they be down there early in the morning. I mean, they be working out, shooting and stuff 2-3 hours before people get there.
Right.
And then, they go eat breakfast and come back or whatever they're doing in the morning. And the guys thinking they just got, man, this guy's been here a couple hours already. I mean, if you choose to be excellent in any type of sports, doesn't it really kind of call for that kind of commitment?
Sure.
Oh, absolutely. I'll give you this story. I may have told it, so I'll try to keep it brief. I was talking to Johnny Dawkins. He was an assistant on one of the Olympic teams Coach K was coaching.
Okay.
And this had LeBron, Dwayne Wade, and Kobe were on this team. They had pre-camp in Vegas. And I think this year the Lakers won the title, so they played late into the summer, which means Kobe didn't have much of a break between NBA season and Olympic season. He gets to camp. He brings his trainer. Coach K said, you don't practice pros in the morning. They're not going for it, so you practice at noon. He said Kobe would get up every day, work out 8 to 10 with his trainer, eat breakfast, stretch, come to practice hard, 2 hours, stick around and shoot 2 hours after practice was over. Now, that year, I believe he may have been MVP of the NBA and finals MVP that same season. So you're tired. You played 100 games that season. You're already tired. 2 weeks later, you got to roll into NBA this camp. And they said later on, LeBron and D Wade called their trainers, brought them to Vegas, and started doing the same thing that Kobe did. So you're right. You got to be a little bit of a maniac if you're going to be that great at a particular thing.
Yeah, Kobe was legendary for his training routine. You know, he was in the gym sometimes 4 o'clock in the morning just working out. But again, that's why you are the Mamba. That's why you are as great as you are, because you're willing to pay the price.
Yeah, and I come back to what DL said, and I think DL called this right. You know, you got to look at their practice. I mean, because Jordan was fanatical with practice. I mean, he said Jordan wanted to make practice harder than the game. So when you get to the game, you know,
it's easier, right?
You're already prepared. Yeah. Coach, what about that? I mean, he was just fanatical with.
Jordan couldn't hit nobody upside the head during the game. Steve Kerr, Will Perdue, and he couldn't clown him and embarrass him in the game.
Yeah, but he was saying, but he was saying that he was trying to. He said, "Look, when you playing them Knicks and you're playing Detroit and all that, you know, he didn't go cry. He went in the weight room, buffed up, and everything, and he had a plan. And so they say that after he lost one of those seasons that he lost, no, it was when he came back from playing baseball, and they lost to Miami, I think. You know, it was a Florida team. Right. And he said the next day, he was in the gym. You know, it was like, look, we getting ready for them next year. I mean, in the next season. I mean, but, Coach, I just don't believe some of these young people, they want the fun and easy, not the hard and necessary. I don't believe that there's some naturally talented people that really don't excel in those sports because they're not trying to do the hard and necessary.
Right. Listen, I know we all marvel at Steph Curry, the way he shoots a basketball. But what we don't pay attention to, he is amazingly skilled.
Yeah.
His IQ and his handle allows him to use his shot to set up other parts of his game. And so he is a wizard with the ball. And so that's a lot of ball handling drills, shooting drills. I mean, so we see it, and he makes it look so easy. We forget how difficult that really is.
Well, as a coach, how do you get players to see that? I'm talking about a young player, you know, because people start blowing their head up by the time they're in the third grade. You know what I mean? You know, you all that, man. You know, you know. I mean, how do you make that a reality? Okay, you got some skills or talent, that is, or whatever, but you're trying to get them to get better.
Well, Troy, that's a great question. And I think a lot of coaches struggle with that because I think you got two camps. One, you got a kid that just walks in the gym. He's just better than everybody.
Right.
He really didn't have to work at it hard. You know, he's 6'7". He can shoot. He's athletic. That was just natural. Then there was another 6'7" kid who worked his tail off. You know, he wasn't as fast. He didn't jump as high. You know, but you know, and so you know, which kid do you want to have on your team? I'm taking the hard worker because he understands things at a level that I need him to understand it because he or she's going to put in the time to get better. And, you know, whereas the more talented player, I may have to stay on him or her about getting in the gym, getting shots up, commit to a workout routine, et cetera. So, and, you know, as a coach, you got a lot of things to worry about. I don't need to have that additional thing to worry about on my plate.
And that's what I like about Wembanyama. I mean, everybody say he's probably going to be one of the best, but this offseason, I mean, he was doing all kinds of things to improve and he bulked up a little bit. He went and worked with some monks and he was just doing, so talent alone, as talented as he is, as Troy says, you got to go above and beyond because talent alone, there's a whole lot of talented guys in the league, but it is the ones who go above and beyond and outwork everybody else. And that was Kobe's motto. He said, somebody else might be more skillful, but I'm going to outwork everybody. And so if you've got that mentality, and that's what Wembanyama have, that mentality. You know, he says he wants it and he's going to put in the work so he can get to be the best in every category. And so that's what's going to take somebody to the top of the game is not just skill, not just talent, but the discipline to outwork everybody else.
Right. Coach, I
love good.
One last question for you. You can respond to his thing too as well. But quickly, so the referees. Now look, I never played this sport, but I know there was a thing in basketball you call carrying the ball. And they, you know, I saw this thing of this guy who just a day ago, he went from coast to coast, but man, he was like holding the ball almost like it was a football in that sprint to the other end. I mean, they say referees aren't doing their job now. I mean, is that true?
Man, I think traveling and carrying,
right? Those are judged a little more loosely than some of the other calls. I'll put it that way, because there's some times, like you watch LeBron. There's many times LeBron takes an extra step or two. I mean, a step or two.
I think the Euro step is the thing that's thrown off a lot of people too, right?
Guy, man, he takes a lot of steps. I'm like, look, I probably could have played ball as a kid if they was calling by them rules. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, if I get 3 or 4 steps, I should be able to get by about anybody.
Exactly. That's my point. So now, I remember in the '80s.
Okay, you took an extra half step, automatic travel.
Right.
Nowadays, man, I think you got to take a minimum of 2 extra steps before they think about calling it.
Right.
They take 8 steps.
You got to get to your 5th step before they think about calling it.
But do they carrying the ball at all now? I mean, has anybody called that lately?
Man, I am not sure it's still in the rule book, to be honest. At the I don't remember it being called. Like, there's just some things they're just not called anymore, and that's one of them.
I'm just saying, it's the era, man. Look, if they had the rules like that, I might have been a star. if I could take all those steps and carry the ball.
Right, Troy.
Yeah.
Anyway, look, Coach, it's on you, man. We out of here.
Hey, listen, thank you, gentlemen. Always good to be with you. Widu family, we love you. Make it a great day. Put some love in the atmosphere.
Yes, sir.
Make it ready for the flow.